Okay, this segment of defense is kind of how I do defenses within singles or when the guy's shooting from the back, or even within doubles. Like a lot of people have different types of zones, they're called, as where you kind of have a set, stacking of your men. If you kind of look at that within right down from the video angle there, for a lot of straight shots, there's not much open. All the men are stacked, kind of like this guy's there, and then he fills the gap inside here. Logs are covered, and this guy's out here, kind of thing. Everything kind of stacked together, but it's just a straight up, because that's kind of like a very stationary zone, but that's nothing that's going to work at a very high level, because everyone has little slight little adjustments they can do to the straight shots. So what I recommend a lot of people do, and I've heard a lot of people try to do this, well, before I show you what my recommendation is or what I do, there's also the concept out there that a lot of people have zones where the people they'll be within a given set of holes, and they want their goalie to be in a certain place, thinking, okay, you got this part, you got short and I got long, kind of thing. I hear a lot of that, but at the highest level, I don't think that really works too well. You gotta have, it's good to have general responsibilities, but not totally, I got short, you got long, kind of thing, or the goalie's got long, or the forwards got short. That doesn't work at the highest level, because the shooters are too good. And there's too many good passing options, depending on what table you play on. But on Tornado, there's definitely a lot of good goalies now have really good passing options that can really, at least, it doesn't matter where that guy is, those passes are going to work good too. And there's some even teams that even pass from 2 to 5, and I've passed that way with partners as well, with some success. So kind of the defense that I'd recommend is that you both have general areas of responsibility, and you're still adjusting to what the shooter does so you're still trying to adjust to what the shooter does when they shoot. So if you've kind of shown them like something like this, and you kind of just shoot there, and then they try to hit a pull kick, let's say, when you showed that defense. Well, then that would kind of tell you, well, okay, when I show this, they might like to shoot the pull kick. Well, then you can use that information if you're moving around, and all of a sudden you do this one, you can kind of expect maybe that pull kick's coming, so you can jump out and try to block it, kind of thing. You just kind of have to kind of adjust to what that shooter likes to do based on what defenses you show. So if you switch like that, and all of a sudden you do one of those, and if he shoots one down the middle like that, kind of thing, well, you can switch and then stuff, kind of thing, or just like switch kind of stuff. It's just the same kind of concepts. You're kind of just realizing you're watching your own defense and your own movements, and you're trying to learn how does the shooter react to those movements, and then you're trying to get in their head and try to understand how do they shoot, so that you can make the appropriate adjustments, right on the spot. So if you've, doing like thing like this, and if I pulled that in like that, and whenever I do that, they shot down here. If that's what they did, then I'd learn that after a while, and I kind of watch for that. And as soon as I did that, I might, cheat out here as opposed to being up in here again, or I might pop, in like expecting him to start to shoot when I'm here, but then I'm going to pop up into it, right up through there. It's the same thing. There's a story happening. You're giving them holes and looking, and you're giving them certain looks, and this person's reacting to them. At least they probably have a plan in mind. So then you're gonna have to kind of get on that, try to learn their habits, learn their tendencies. Some people might have different shots they do from this side than from this side, kind of thing. But generally, within singles, anyways, I'll switch to singles for a second. My thought is, like, within any zone, there's always 2 holes. No matter what you do with all these guys, the way you set them up, like if you do like this, there's always 2 holes with how you set them up. So whatever you do with your zone, you just have to be conscious as to what are those holes based on your position. So, say for example, my zone, I'll be up in here like this, and I know when I'm here, I have 2 holes that are open. This thing up here, and then a short, depending on how far down they are from this side. There's a short that's open, and there's the one up here that's open. Everything else is blocked. But if I'm like this, then another couple holes were open. There's still the spray up here, and then there's maybe like something else in here too. There's a big nice spray. I won't show that very often. So there's this one, there's that one, there's this one. I kind of know the positions that I go through, and the positions look all kind of similar. So there's like, I'll block short with these two, I'll block short with these two, and then I'll also come up here with these two kind of thing. And then sometimes I'll stagger and switch, and sometimes I'll show like these two up there like this, and sometimes I'll make it a little bit wider, kind of like that. Something similar, but yet I know where the holes are. So I know if I'm like this and they shot, then I know kind of like what did they shoot, I know what holes are open, I know how to, if I need to bail into a hole, I know what's open, I know how to react to if I was like that and then they start to shoot. Assuming that they're shooting into the holes I'm leaving, at this point I'm going to then bail into them, block into the hole some way. So either I'm going to say, for example, they shot in there, then I might jump up in there like with this one, or I might show it and then jump kind of thing, or I might see the shot coming and then come out and spike it kind of thing. The same concept. Just be aware of, based on whatever position you have, whatever zone you're showing, there's holes that are open always. There's just, you can't block everything. So just be aware of what those holes are, and be aware of, seeing if you can make that shooter fall into your traps. And so if you can get them going into those holes, if you know that when that hole is open, you know how you should have a backup plan as to how to block it. As well, if things aren't working, if you're playing in singles, it doesn't hurt to try different things. Again, you got to try different things, but still stay within your game. Stay within the defenses that you're familiar with. Stay within the defenses that you have an understanding of, that how they work. You can't just go off and do something what somebody else says right off the bat. It's totally different. Oh no, do this, do this defense, dude. It works against this guy all the time for me. Like, if you don't understand, you're not going to be comfortable with it. You might try to talk to that guy about it, after the game or whatever, and try to learn from it and play with it a little bit, but not right in the middle of the match. You got to stay with what you've kind of have comfort with. But still, you got to try different things. Sometimes it's even good just to kind of bail right back. So a lot of shooters don't really know what to do in singles. They're shooting from the back. They might not have good 2 to 5 series. They might not have good clears as to how to go from here. Especially if they're really lighting you up from the 2-bar, it might just take a good thing to take a totally different look at it. And now you're in the back and you're just thinking, well, far away, I'm going to hope to get the rebound. And again, the same concept applies. When you set up, you leave your guys there, you have to know, as the defender back here now, what holes are open. And you have to kind of know, what holes you're leaving, so that you can know how to, adjust your movements to get into those holes based on where the ball is. So say, for example, if a guy was shooting there, he shoot a spray slider in there and try to shoot a push kick up through here. So just kind of sitting like this, you can kind of, try to stay within that slider. And then if the push kick comes, it's a pretty big movement, so you can come up in here or whatever. But then you have to be careful, which is what Billy Pappas did to me in that last singles match at the Hall of Fame Classic. He shot a short push kick. He shot up here and a short push kick. So he showed push kick motion. I saw the push kick motion, thought I saw it. And then he shot short push kick. And then he had some good options against that. So some players will have good options, but a lot of players won't. They won't know what to do with it. So it can't hurt to try it if you're getting ripped up. Again, you got to find something that works within your game. So you have to work these things into your game. You have to kind of practice them, get used to them, be comfortable playing with them under pressure situations within tournament level matches. Another thing you can try to do, if you don't need to just sit right back here. I know it feels like I'm totally bailing, but sometimes it just helps. If you're getting ripped up from the back, that you actually kind of adjust things, move things around on them sometimes. Don't let them give them any one look for too long. You can kind of you look at the defense that's left up there and plug the holes. You're moving around, kind of a random thing. Just give them different looks, something totally different, but still you have to be comfortable with what you're doing and understand the concepts behind it. Then sometimes you just might need a totally different zone back here. You might need to shift things. For a push shooter, it's harder to shoot on this set than it is for a pull shooter, to shoot on this set. I find if you give the standard, it's harder for the person to score from here, because all those sprays from the back can kill that, where that really makes this defense quite not have a good effect on trying to block the ball if there's a big spray hole. Same thing from this side. So it could just be a simple adjustment to kind of make that adjustment to make it a little bit harder. Still run the same kind of thing up here, where you still have to be aware of where your holes are within the lanes, and just kind of jump in and out of those holes and based on what your position is to understand. When I show this, you have to have an